What about advice for people going through, not only going through pregnancy, but the fact that we're also in a global pandemic trying to go through pregnancy?
Luckily for me, my pregnancy was ending like as this was starting. So I got thrown with all of the, like, okay, you're going to have to wear a mask when you come in, no going out, all the precautions they said that were going to happen, but it had just started out. So things were changing every day, and they were like back and forth on stuff. And so my hospital experience was pretty normal compared to what it would have been without all of this, other than the fact that they checked Zach's temperature every time he left in and out, which we didn't think he was going to be able to. Advice for it would be not to let it scare you, because the hospitals, I know they're like, oh, the hospitals are crowded with COVID patients, and it's like, I know my doctor told me specifically, he was like, there's no reason to be scared about that, because where you do labor and delivery is a completely different part, if not even sometimes a different hospital than what's these COVID patients are going to. So just because there's COVID patients in the hospital does not mean they're anywhere near labor and delivery, because they're not. Wearing the masks suck, but you have to if you want to get the care you need. Sadly, you'll get refused your care if you don't wear a mask.
Yeah, I didn't realize the N95s are now, the ones with the filters, are now not deemed safe, even though when all of this first happened, it was what was like required.
Get like a bandana is still acceptable.
Yeah, so they told me that it's because my filter protects me, but it doesn't protect other people from me. So they make me wear 2 masks when I go to the doctor, and then they said for labor and delivery, Jason will have to wait downstairs. He has to go through a separate process, and then they'll take me up. They'll give us both masks. They'll test us both for COVID, and then whenever I'm in my room and ready to go, they'll let Jason come up. So it did make me a little bit nervous knowing that, like, I'm going to go with Jason, but I'm not going to be with him. Like, we're going to be separated, and it's been frustrating that, like, he hasn't been able to come to a single one of my appointments other than when we came home to Texas and had a midwife let him come in and see an ultrasound for the first time. Because like we had even asked if we could do a special like 3D ultrasound, and if that's something that they would let him come in for, since it's an extra service that we would be paying for, but they said no. So I know that's kind of been the most frustrating part about COVID, especially since, like, for example, I went to one of my appointments and I was like, Jason, just come with me and let's just see. Like, maybe they'll just let you come since I'm so far along. And they're like, I'm sorry, unless he is your medical provider, like he's medically taking care of you, he's not allowed in this building. And I was like, I don't know what that means. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. I can take care of myself. I'm fine. But like, we were just trying to see if my husband would be allowed in. And the nurse was like, well, no, what if we gave COVID to your husband? And I was like, well, what if you give COVID to me? Like, we live together. Like, that, how is that? I don't know. Their argument was weird. So needless to say, he waited in the car like he does for all of his appointments, or all of my appointments. And then I go upstairs and I'm in a room with 2 other women who have their husbands with them, because they claimed that they were their like medical care people. And so it's just, it's hard to see people that cheat the system in certain ways, whereas like I'm physically incapable of lying.
Yeah, you don't want to cheat the system and add to the reason why the system sucks, but like it makes you want to.
Right, exactly. So it's been hard to see other people not do things the right way, whereas we're trying so hard to do things the right way, but yet it just feels like we keep getting met with force against us with different things. Like, even not the Kelly, you know how the West Coast has been. Like, it's been hard to even haven't been able to move. Like, we were supposed to move in March, and then that didn't happen, and then we finally unpacked, and we're still staying in the place that we're in. And it's it's been one thing after another. And even trying to, California does paid maternity leave through EDD, and Lane, you're cracking me up right now.
I love you, Lane.
But I can't even do paid maternity leave because somebody at EDD handed out my social security number to somebody else that's been getting paid since May for a child I haven't even had yet. And then the fraud number, when I call it, every time says, due to COVID, we have less employees and nobody's available to take your call. So I've been trying this has been going on for over a month now.
That's crazy.
So, I'm fortunate that obviously Jason has a job, but he's also a teacher. And we know everything going on with teachers right now, and he's a coach.
Yeah.
Sports has been postponed to January out here, so no coaching stipends. So it's just been, I agree. All of that to say, I agree with you, Kelly, that the biggest thing is just not fear. Don't let fear creep in, because we're all going through this together in some way, shape, or form. And it's all new to all of us.
Exactly. To take on to that, just to bring a different, perspective, is one thing of advice that another mom gave me. She had her baby in March, kind of like Kelly at the beginning of all this COVID stuff. She said, you're a first-time mom. If people call you out for acting like a first-time mom, don't take offense to it. This is all new to you. All the other moms that have had kids have not had a newborn during a pandemic. So she said, just don't take to heart what other people are saying. Go with your gut. God gave you this child to care for. So whatever you deem and you think is safe for you and your family, do it. If that means hand sanitizer, go for it. If that means face masks for visitors, go for it. If that means they can hold your baby and they don't have to wash their hands, go for it. Whatever you're comfortable with, go for it. This is your child. Obviously, don't be stupid.
Yeah.
But don't let others dictate what you think is okay and not okay for your baby.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, thank you, Mama. I needed to hear that.
Yeah, that's applicable for all stages and parts of parenting too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think that even goes for travel and stuff too, because I know a lot of people, when I first said that I was going to just pack up and go to Texas for a month, people thought that was reckless or unsafe, or how at 7 months and coming back at 8 months, how is that safe for you to go through an airport and all these different things. And it's to me, I saw it no different than if I was to go to a grocery store or to venture out to go anywhere. I took precautions. We were very, very careful. We researched our airlines to know which one to use that was going to leave the middle seat open. And it's kind of like y'all said, just whatever is going to be, whatever you feel like is best for your family is best for your family, and nobody else can tell you otherwise. We all have different opinions. We all do things completely different when it comes to, even eating habits. Just everything. Even me, you, and Kendall. We're all
very different.
Sisters. We're all so different, but it's we still visit each other. We still do things according to our ways, but when we're visiting, we mesh ways. And it's just, it's not worth fighting with people over. Everybody, we all need to have a little bit more grace with each other when it comes to certain things, as long as our hearts are in the right place. I know we've gone, I know you have to get ready to leave. So maybe we can just do one of these again sometime, because I know I had written down quite a few questions. I am going to kind of list some of the online videos and different things that we've done, the online Pampers training, the Red Cross Infant CPR and First Aid, Lamaze International, all of these free resources that are out there. Some of the Instagram people that we follow for workouts, the apps that have great resources, What to Expect, Baby Center, Baby List, some of the books that we're going through. I know Kelly and I reading the one about vaccines, and even chiropractic care, making sure that it's somebody that's certified in the Webster technique that you can find on the ICPA website. So I am going to list all of that kind of stuff, just so that people can see it. I know even our packing list, a lot of it came from the What to Expect packing list.
Yeah, that's where I got my idea from.
Yeah, same.